Quick couple on Villa then, if that's all right. 100% start for them. I mean, they've strengthened incredibly well. And after their brush with relegation, do you expect them to be competing much higher up in the division this season?
Yeah, I think for last season it was always going to be difficult for Villa, and I think Dean done fantastically well. They obviously knew they were coming up late. Then they had to get in an influx of signings. They had a lot of loan players, so that takes a bit of time. And obviously, if you don't quite get into your rhythm, and of course the nature of the Premier League, it's so competitive. Then it can be difficult for you. But they got the job done in the end. Recruited very, very well in the summer. And if you look at the goalkeeper, and Ross Barkley is a huge signing for them, because I think he, playing in his natural position as number 10, he could really blossom there. And obviously Jack Grealish staying is a massive help for them. So I think, like you say, they've started very well. They had an outstanding result against Liverpool. I think everyone's seen that. And it'll be a really, really tough game for us.
Last one from me then. You mentioned Grealish there. I wonder if you could give us an objective coach's view on him, because obviously there's been a big clamour for him to play for England, which he did against Wales and put in a man of the match performance. But he didn't play in the 2 games after that, and it looks like it's going to be a constant discussion around that England team. But as a manager yourself and a coach yourself, do you understand the quandary that he poses because of the unique sort of player that he is?
Yeah, but players like Jack and James here will always present a problem. But obviously, with regards to England, they've got so many good players. You know, if you play Jack on the left-hand side, are you then leaving out Raheem Sterling, who's a world-class player for me? You know, and but I think that England are very fortunate they have his talent. Jack Grealish is, you know, he's. I've seen the improvements in him as he's grown as a young player. His personality on the field is absolutely fantastic, and he's got a real inbuilt brain for football. When I see him, when he carries the ball, his awareness of his space really shows me the talent that he has. He understands where his space is. He gets tackled a lot. He stays on the ball a bit longer than other people and draws fouls, but he also draws people out of position. And his weight of pass is exceptional. You know, how he slides people in, and just his touch on the ball. So he's a marvellous player, and like I say, he's one of a number of players that are with England that are very talented. But he, like you say, is a bit like James, where they're not the same position. You know, I think our James Maddison will play sort of more central and as an 8 or a 10, and Jack looks his best position is drifting in off the side and finding the gaps and working out of that shape. So, but not a very, very talented player, and one that he looks a real good boy as well.
You mentioned the Liverpool results. I think it shocked everyone in world football, let alone just here in the country. What could you learn about Villa from that performance and that ridiculous results against Liverpool?
Well, I think it shows you their talent. I think that if you look at the structure of the team, they've got good power and good strength in the team. They've recruited well, and they've got players that can give you a problem if you're not at the top of your game. So I think they scored 7 and maybe felt they could have got 1 or 2 more goals as well. So it shows you've got to have that full concentration at this level, or else any team can punish you. Like you say, no one sees the results coming. It was like us the week before at Manchester City. But if you're not quite at the top of your game at this level, then you can come unstuck. So it's a game we're looking forward to, coming back in again, continuing with what has been a really good start for us, and then getting back on track again.
And just very finally, Brendan, I think a lot of talk with Villa has been about the talk of their midfield strength. We've already talked about Ross Barkley, Jack Grealish, John McGinn as well, Douglas Luiz. How important do you think that midfield battle is going to be at the weekend?
Well, it's across the pitch, really. Of course, you always want to dominate the middle of the park. That's an area which is important. But to win any game at this level, it's about your team. Of course, you get talented individuals that can make the difference. But to win, and we had tough games against Aston Villa last season, both in the cup and in the league. And to get good results, you need to you need to be strong as a team. So that'll be our emphasis throughout the game.